The final shape is here, and if you're looking to annihilate the legendary campaign and take advantage of Prismatic to its fullest capabilities, then you definitely want to check this out. We all know and love Indebted Kindness, the arc rocket sidearm that came out with the dungeon last season, but with the final shape you actually get given a strand rocket sidearm, the first of its kind, known as the Call, pretty early on in the campaign. The Call will be craftable once you obtain 5 red borders, but I got really lucky and got a god roll straight off the bat, which I'll go over in a little bit. Now the reason why I wanted to make this video is that 2 rocket sidearms absolutely cook in the legendary campaign, and I'm sure that this combination will be lethal in a ton of content going forwards. Why? Well, with Prismatic, you have to fill up both a light bar and a darkness bar, using different kinds of weapons in order to achieve transcendence. The Indebted Kindness is an arc weapon, so it fills up the light bar, and I often found myself filling up the light bar really quickly, but then when I switched to a stasis or a strand weapon, which are darkness weapons, I absolutely hated the fact that the weapon I was using wasn't as powerful as Indebted Kindness, but I had to use it to fill up that darkness bar for transcendence. Well, now that we have a strand rocket sidearm, you don't need to worry about that. You can switch to either weapon and be progressing your bar towards transcendence. The reason why transcendence is so important is because you get access to very powerful grenades, and your ability regeneration and damage is juiced up so you can really tear through the campaign. The more you have transcendence up, the easier things are going to be. I also found having 2 rocket sidearms was extremely efficient for ammo economy purposes. 1 rocket sidearm is pretty ammo efficient on its own, but 2 took it to a whole nother level. I was using special ammo finisher with my build here, and whenever I was picking up a brick, I was receiving something like 18 shots for both rocket sidearms, which is pretty nutty for one singular brick, and I found myself never running out of ammo. The loadout seems like a bit of a meme, but also has some serious synergy with some exotics out there, including the new Titan exotic chest piece, the Hazarded Propulsion. The Hazardous Propulsion loads rockets with precision hits or final blows, and then upon using your class ability unloads those rockets onto enemies. More importantly, it provides a 35% damage buff to all rockets, including rocket sidearms, for a whopping 10 seconds. This 35% damage buff is already being hypothesized to be the new damage meta for Titans in terms of pushing DPS, as they can easily incorporate a quick rally barricade before firing rockets for a massive damage boost. Now with 2 rocket sidearms on your arsenal, you're also gaining that damage boost in general for ad clear gameplay as well, making the exotic more versatile outside of just damage rotations. For hunters, we have the Mechaneer's Trick Sleeves, whereby you gain a massive 100% damage buff when you're at critical health and switch to a sidearm weapon. Because you now have 2 rocket sidearms, you can proc Mechaneer's damage buff back and forth so easily. Again, it's a very effective loadout. Even after all this, if you've not been convinced to run 2 rocket sidearms, I wanted to assure you that the Call and the Indebted Kindness do have enough differences in their perk pools to differ their usage. The Call has access to perks like Slice and Vorpal Weapon, making it an S tier choice for more tankier enemies like mini bosses and bosses when you run out of heavy ammo. Slice applies Sever to targets after using your class ability, which is a whopping 40% debuff to an enemy's outgoing damage. So that's really going to help you and your teammates survive against those harder enemies. Again, this synergizes really well with Hazardous Propulsion, allowing you to quickly apply Sever after using your class ability, meaning the boss is going to be less damaging to you and your teammates before you switch to something like a bait and switch rocket launcher. Vorpal Weapon is a flat 15% damage buff to special weapons against stronger enemies like mini bosses and bosses, which this legendary campaign is full of, and it doesn't require a prerequisite like One for All or Desperate Measures, so you can just point and shoot and benefit from it. On the other hand, Indebted Kindness has Volt Shot, and will also have access to a solar version of a rocket sidearm later in the game called the Aberrant Action, which again has access to Incandescent, which is a good ad clear perk. So you can see each one carves out its own niche pretty well, and you can use either one with the Call and still be very effective. So if you're struggling with the Legend campaign, or if you just want to try out a new loadout combination which is a ton of fun, then try out Double Rocket Sidearms. It's powerful for ad clear, amazing for stronger enemies, it's great as a backup for bosses, and it's super ammo efficient. If you liked what I talked about today, remember to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Destiny tips and tricks as we get deeper into Final Shape. If you are struggling with the Legendary campaign and are looking for a solid Prismatic build, then make sure to check these videos out at the end. I'm Mr. Ronit, and that's it for today. Peace out, guys.